Right. Lisa? I'm going to start things here in a minute. So you can explain whatever you want to explain in a minute. You explain whatever you need to. Yeah. Living the Life We Want, session 1 is now in order. That's kind of lame. Living the Life We Want, session 1 is now in order. Oh, that's much better. We're supposedly going to have door prizes. I don't know if they're ready yet. They're close, but what we're going to do first, to talk about logistics for the luncheon that we're about to have, let's give it up for the amazing Lisa Bodderson.
Happy Friday. Today, I want to make sure we start out this convention. Everybody has a name tag. If you do not have a name tag, make your way back to the registration table, please, to collect that. Your name tag will have stickers on it that designate the meals that you will be partaking in. So you must have that name tag to be served, and registration table is happy to help you out. Those of you that have ordered special dietary meals, your name tag will be designated as such. Vegetarians will have a certain color sticker across the top. The hotel is well aware of what we're doing, but just confirm with the server that you're getting the appropriate meal. And that's all I have for you today. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks.
Hey, Lisa?
Yep.
I don't feel any stickers. On the inside? Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can give your attention again to Lisa. You can talk to the waiter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kneel again.
Okay.
I've just had the hotel ask that those of you who did order special meals to let your server know what it is. If you are vegetarian, please say so. If you are gluten-free, please say so. And lastly, make sure that your name tag has the clip closest to your person so that they can see your name tag. Thank you.
No, the water's set.
What?
The
Oh, yeah.
water.
And, due to the present environment with COVID, I did not have the hotel preset the tables with water glasses and water. So we do have water stations at the back of the room, and we do have coffee that's out in the foyer. So if you want to grab a beverage, feel free to do so. Thank you.
Do we have a door prize yet?
Hello. Okay, we are live. Yes, we do
Hey,
have door
I hear
prizes. Hey,
somebody.
y'all.
You're out there.
We are out here.
Okay. Anybody want a door prize? Okay, so now those of you who are out there in Zoom, if your name gets called, raise your hand. Our Zoom operators will let us know, right, Zoom operators? All right, good. So raise your hand, *9 if you're on a phone line, Alt-Y on a desktop, Option Y on a Mac, under the More button on an iPhone. So get ready. Mo, you got any door prizes?
We do have door
Well,
prizes.
get busy, man.
Oh, I was waiting for you to stop talking. Lloyd.
You're a little muffled, Mo. If you
Am I? Okay.
Oh,
Is that better?
There you go.
All right.
Give her attention, please.
All right. So, Shane Clark, are you in the room or on Zoom?
Shane Clark.
If you're in the room, make some noise, raise a hand, stand on a chair.
What did Shane win?
Shane is gonna win $50.
Hey, he's right over there to my left. You got him? Do you have anything else, Mo?
We do have him, and we are gonna give away to, hold on, she's drawing my name, she's drawing a name, not
Fred
my name.
Hayner.
Fred Hayner. We're gonna give Fred
Fred Hayner.
some pistachios,
Fred, are you here?
if he's here.
Do we have a Fred Hayner?
I'm not seeing him online,
You got him?
sir.
No, Fred?
No.
All right, move on.
All right. No, you're good. And actually, whose name came up? Renee? Oh,
your name.
my name came up.
Yeah,
So I'll take these pistachios.
All right, all right.
Do you want to put these in the Ziploc, the ones that are already full?
All right, we'll stand down for a while as we get started with the lunch. Bon appetit.
Marianne, can you stand up and wave a hand or something? I have somebody looking for the auction table. Marianne?
Ladies and gentlemen, as you are masticating your comestibles, we are going to have a little auction. And I want to give my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Mary Ann and all the great work she's done with the auction, not only this year, but all these years. And everybody else who's been helping, Renee, Sandy, Gary Van Dorn, on and 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 on. So, let's give one really big NFB of Colorado cheer and welcome to the auctioneer extraordinaire, Mary Ann Millionaire!
And you know, the reason he likes to get super excited is because he can actually pronounce my name.
Yeah.
And the check's in the mail, Scott. I owe you one for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, and those who are streaming on Zoom, we are going to attempt to include you in the auction. If this part of it does not work as expected, it is not us, it is Zoom. So please bear with us as we do try to certainly include you. We want to include you. If you are going to be bidding in the auction, we're going to be opening up the unmuting privilege. Please only use it if you are bidding on something. If you are not, please stay muted just to keep the Zoom clear. If you are on Zoom and you do win something, we need you to let us know right away, whether if you can chat, definitely please chat it. If you are on the phone, we'll need to know who you are so that we can contact you to be able to collect your payment and arrange your shipping. Otherwise, anyone who's in this room, we will be expecting your payment and we will be providing your goods. So when this lunch is over, do not go anywhere if you have bid on the auction, because otherwise we will sell your stuff to somebody else. Hopefully that is all clear. And we are doing a couple of new things with the auction this year. One of them is that there are a few things that if you have looked at the auction packages, and thank you to everyone who has donated, one of the things we are doing this year is a few mystery auction pieces. You know what they are. You might know the value. What you don't know is the price that you will pay to win it, because you will bid it by price. And when someone has reached the magic number, we are just going to call sold. So it's not necessarily going to be the highest bid that wins, but the one who bids the magic number. So you got to have a little luck involved with your money. But in any case, open up your credit cards, your wallets, your whatever. As Kevin Worley says, come on, y'all, this is for the kids. All right, we're getting that out early because we know Kevin will say it later again. And we are going to start the auction off with one of my favorite packages this year. It is package number 24. Sweet, nope, I lie. It is 23, Dessert Delights. Where are all my sweet wine drinkers? Where are my chocolate lovers? Yeah, pay attention. We've got bottles of plum. There are 3 bottles of wine from Spiro Winery. A bottle of plum and 2 bottles of raspberry red wines that are sweet dessert wines, and Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory chocolates, donated by the Mile High chapter. It's a $100 value. Is the Zoom room open? Are the mutes open? Sound people. Just waiting to hear before we start the bidding.
We are good.
Thank you, sir. I would like to get this started at around 35. Needfeld says 35. Janine says 50. Who is that, Aaron? Aaron Daly says 60. Janine says 65. 75 says Daly. $75 going once. Do we still have folks on the Zoom that are unmuted interested? And by the way, guys, Janine actually came to Colorado just to come to this convention. It is her first time doing anything NFB. So give her a welcome. All right, so far, Eddie says Janine. 90 says Daly. $90 going once. Twice. Sold. We're moving quick. All righty. Gary, that was 23. It's 90 to Aaron Daly. And then we are going to do auction item number 27. It is not on the list because it just came to us. It is a CCB package. Where's my CCB people? All right. It is a Beauty by Brittany package donated by the CCB, and Brittany is over there, and she's going to explain to us this immense box of Mary Kay.
Okay, so in the package, there's actually 2 items. We have a Cityscape perfume, which is my absolute favorite. It is a very light, clean fragrance. And in the 12 days of giveaways, it's fun. It's kind of like an advent calendar. You open up and you get 12 little boxes and you get different things. There are charcoal mask, hydrogel eye patches, lip gloss, mascara, lip balms. There is tons and tons of body care products in that box. And you can use it as 12 different presents for Christmas. That's what I did. I'm just saying.
Woohoo! And this is $175 value. And I'm telling you, y'all, that this box is big. Let us get it started around 50.
50 Baldwin.
I heard 50 from Baldwin. Hecker, 70. Last thing I heard was 70. Scott, are you okay, or are you commenting quietly? Okay. Just checking. He's over here choking. I want to make sure we still have a president for another day.
Yeah, then I'm expendable.
And Mark Riccobono now hates me. It's all good. I heard 70. Going once to Hecker. This is a $175 gift, y'all. 70 going once. Ain't gonna help me either. I feel you. 70 going twice. Sold it to Hecker. Sandy, if you can make your way up to me, I will appreciate that. Gary, that was 27. And now we're heading on to item number 15. Yes. It is called Making Merry with Mary Kay. It's $130 value, donated by Sylvia V. Hill. She's got the holiday hand cream and lip balm set, mint bliss lotion with the warm, cuddly socks, lip balms, all kinds of different stuff. It's another great Mary Kay package. In a big, huge, lovely basket. It's $130 value. Can we start it at 50? $55 says Janine. 70 from Hecker. I heard him. Come on, Hecker can't be the only one who needs to be beautiful around here. 72? Hey, we'll take your money. I don't care. Is that Jessica in the back yelling? No, no, there's somebody way in the back on the other side of the room. I've heard 72 from Janine.
70 what?
How much, Anahit? 75 from 75 from Labar? She's beautiful already, but we'll take her money too. 75 going once, twice, sold it. 15. All righty, hold on a second. Yes. 75 Anahit. The Mrs. Labar. We're going to do one more. We are going to do a quick little mystery auction one. And to bring us the mystery auction, Lotion, it's package number 11. I'm going to give you Sandy Schleich. It is a, I believe, $25 value. And I'm going to give this over to Sandy Schleich for a moment. And I'm going to go pass over the mystery price to somebody who will stop the auction, hopefully at the appropriate point. Yes, sir. It's the two lotions. Do I need to tell them that? Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. That's your job.
Yep. So this one is,
A little closer.
oh, sorry, I'm not used to talking on a microphone. So this is from Bath and Body Works, and it's 2 lotions. They're both peppermint twist lotion, body lotion. And this is, we're going to start it out at 5. So $5 is what we're going to start it. So anybody? Janine, what did you say?
15 Janine.
15, thank you, I can't hear.
So,
There you go.
Aaron, 35.
who was it?
Who was that? Who said that?
Lily.
Okay.
Lily? All right, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want me to do anything more, or is that good?
We're good.
All right, I'm gonna go eat lunch.
Go eat lunch.
We love you guys.
Hold on a second, we need to know who Lily is.
Lily, who?
Hold on, let me,
Yeah, get on the mic.
I got it. Who is Lily that bought on the lotion?
Lily Mann, she's a
Lily-
CCB student.
Lily Mayer, could you do me a favor, Lily, and
Ma'am.
stand up? All right, please don't leave until Gary finds you and gets your money. Thank you guys, much more to come. And the other thing is, for those who are interested in Heads and Tails, who reads the blog? Blind Coloradan? Does anybody know about the fact that we are going to be playing Heads or Tails for some Broncos tickets on Saturday night? There are a few people who will have those Broncos tickets, Heads or Tails tickets for sale. Lisa Bonderson is one. Gary Van Dorn is another. Kevin Kovacs will probably be the third. Any one of those 3 can sell you a $20 chance to play Heads or Tails. We will be selling these tickets today and tomorrow through the very beginning of the banquet. You have to have this ticket in order to play the game. You will get Broncos tickets on the top level for the November 28th game. Oh, no, stop. Y'all, Scott is being very silly with my dog over here.
He's kind of fresh.
Uno is initiating it and Scott is enjoying it. So, stop that. You're going to get me in trouble. Sorry, audio description required. I understand. But Uno, stop. That's enough. That's the whole Alex and Emily saying how silly he gets with dogs. It is very true. He is not cheating on his own dog, Mocha. He's just making friends with another one. Sorry, Scott. But you will get $180 worth of Broncos tickets, and you will get Broncos blankets donated by Lisa Bonderson. So for your $20, you're already getting more than enough, even if you get Lisa Bonderson's Broncos blankets. And the tickets are just a fabulous bonus. So think about that. See the folks who have those tickets, because you don't want to miss being part of the fun tomorrow night when we play a really great new game. Thank you much. Enjoy your lunch, and I know we're moving on.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Yeah, I think it's time for a door prize. Come on.
All right,
Come on now.
I'm here. All right. So, you want to draw me a name, Miss Brittany?
What are we winning?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, hold on.
Hello.
She's drawing me a name. She's reading over here.
You need to talk a little more into that mic. It's hard to hear you.
Oh,
See, that's a lot
okay.
better.
All right.
What are you giving away? Hello,
That is-
Mo. Hello. Are you out there?
Oh my goodness. All right, Jen Spears is getting a $25 American Express gift card.
Jen Spears, are you
If
out there
she's
in
there.
the Zoomosphere? If she's not out there in the Zoomosphere,
Her hand is up.
her
All
hand is
right.
up. All right, we'll get you that $25 now. Going forward, Mo, it's more exciting if you tell us the prize first so we can start salivating a little bit and then go, oh, when it's not our own name. So don't give us the name first. Give us the prize first. So what's the next prize?
All right, the next prize, we're going to give away a blanket, nice soft throw, and some peanut butter popcorn.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, baby. Now, my name is in there. I know it is. Draw it.
Barry Arnett.
Oh, that's that doesn't sound like me at all. All right.
Do we see Barry? Do we have Barry?
Barry, are you here?
We need you to wave a hand, make some noise.
Do we have Barry?
Got him.
Okay, we see him.
Yay, Barry. Okay, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to resume with the program. I know you're all still eating some. There's a dessert coming. But, you know, you can eat quietly. I'm positive you can. So just stand by for a couple of minutes. Cher and Krista and Pat, if you want to make your way up here. We're going to get going in just a couple minutes. Yes. Okay. Oh, great. All right, sir. Can you get back?
Don't let me miss dessert.
I'll make sure they give you. All right, if I can have your attention, we're going to get underway. The next item is assessing the state of vocational rehabilitation services in Colorado and planning for the future. With us today, we have Cher Hoven, who is the Deputy Executive Director and Chief Communications Officer for the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. And we have Krista Hedlund, who's the manager of the Blindness and Low Vision Services Unit, also, of course, at the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. We have been working with CDLE now for 5 years, since we were successful in getting Voc Rehab transferred to the Department of Labor and Employment, which we thought was a suitable home for DVR because the purpose of DVR largely is to get blind people and others with disabilities employed. Overall, we've had a very good relationship with CDLE, DVR, and BLVS. Of course, there are always bumps and challenges in the road, and I'm sure we'll address some of that going forward. But to give us some remarks first, please give a warm NFB of Colorado welcome to Cher Hoven. Cher.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a really great group of people here today, and happy that everybody joined in person and remotely. As Scott said, I'm Cher Hoven. I'm the Deputy Executive Director and Chief Communications Officer for the Department of Labor and Employment. Our Executive Director, Joe Barella, unfortunately could not join you all today. He sends his best. Before I get into a few prepared remarks, as Scott said, we brought the Division of Voc Rehab over to CDLE from the Department of Human Services in 2016. And I will tell you that was not an easy lift for a number of reasons. Mostly because CDLE was new to the Voc Rehab world. Internally, we had to educate our staff and our supervisors and leadership and really implement a culture change. And it really started at the top. And I will say I've been with the state 17 years, I've been with the department 14. I have never met such a dedicated group of stakeholders than we found with the community advocating for people with disabilities, and specifically Scott and NFB. It was an interesting road, and I think, as Scott said, hopefully has been, at the end of the day, a successful merger. We know we have a lot of work ahead of us, and our commitment is to continue that and strengthen our partnership as we collaborate on how we can improve services to Coloradans and Coloradans with disabilities. So today I'll speak a little bit about the Labor Department at a high level. I'll speak a little bit about the work that Voc Rehab is doing. I want to acknowledge a few of my colleagues here. Patrick Teagarden, he's our Director of Policy and Legislation. Send your complaints to him. Our newest addition to our policy team is Caitlin Adams, working alongside Pat with policy and legislation. And Krista Hedlund joins me. She'll be speaking in a few moments. She's actually in the program that Scott mentioned, and she will be speaking just a little bit operationally about what's going on within that program as we're serving Coloradans with disabilities and individuals with blind and low vision. You know, at CDLE, we are committed to promoting a thriving employment environment where every Coloradan can prosper. And we really mean that. We mean Denver Metro, statewide, and rural communities, identifying ways we can more effectively, efficiently support not only the reemployment goals of Coloradans, but any goal that a Coloradan might have, a business owner, really with the goal of helping our entire state prosper. Thanks in part to the advocacy of NFB, House Bill 211110 was signed into law this past summer. This, yay, yes, this is, I heard a yay over there, allowing people with disabilities to sue the government for discrimination. As you know, this bill is also the first of its kind in the nation to require state and local governments to ensure website accessibility standards. And because of you, Coloradans with disabilities have an important tool to hold us in state government accountable and help us make sure that Colorado is more welcoming and a welcoming place to live and work and thrive. As the National Disability Employment Awareness Month draws to a close, this conference is well timed. The month may be over, but the issues the month addresses continue. A recent report from the National Governors Association shows that people with disabilities have been hit harder than others during the pandemic. Only 36% of people with disabilities were employed in 2018, compared to 77% of people without disabilities. And in 2019, workers with disabilities earned only 2/3 as much as the average worker without a disability. The report noted that before the pandemic, the share of workers with disabilities who were employed was increasing at a faster rate than for people without disabilities, indicating progress in closing the employment gap. However, since March 2020, pandemic-related layoffs have disproportionately impacted people with disabilities. Now, of course, you're familiar with these kinds of statistics, but my goal in repeating them here is to let you know that we understand that these numbers are unacceptable. These numbers also emphasize the critical importance of equity in our recovery efforts. We are dedicated to improving the way we work with each other and the way we work with you and your partners. Every Coloradan has unique needs, and it's our job to support workers in our state as they advance in their careers. So with that being said, I wanted to provide a brief overview of the Department of Labor and Employment as a whole and educate our partners here today on our world outside of Voc Rehab, with certainly spending time on what Voc Rehab is doing for Colorado. We have 5 priorities as a department: model employer, workers prosper, exceptional services, employers thrive, and future of work. As I said, all of these priorities are focused on creating opportunity for every Coloradan to prosper. Our 6 divisions are supporting our workforce, supporting our state's economy, delivering services to employers, and providing public safety and consumer protection programs. But perhaps most relevant to this group today is our division of Voc Rehab. I'm sure you're already familiar with the division, but if you don't know, it does provide a wide range of no-cost, customized employment services to people with disabilities, including guidance and support in finding and keeping jobs that fit their interest and priorities. Again, Kristen, who will speak in a few minutes, will go into DVR with a little more depth. So I mentioned that one of CDLE's priorities is becoming a model employer. And if we desire to be a model employer, we have to implement programs and priorities and initiatives that demonstrate that commitment. One of these initiatives was creating the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion last year. In fact, CDLE was one of the first state agencies to create this office and the first state agency to hire a director of equity, diversity, and inclusion. And we're very proud of that. Thank you. As a result of this office and the leadership within the office, we also created a number of groups. Affinity groups, we have a group of Latinx, we have an LGBTQ group, we have a group of employees with disabilities. And so the goal with these groups is to create a space where those who identify with one of these groups can feel comfortable and safe and free to express their concerns, desires, hopes, interests, and ultimately the department creates a place for them to come together and express to leadership what would help them more effectively feel that CDLE is a warm and welcoming culture. But CDLE's internal EDI work is not just a benefit to employees, it benefits our clients. By equipping staff with EDI resources, including education and training, they're better able to serve their clients in a way that's sensitive to the unique barriers they may face. It's our goal that everyone, regardless of their background, feels comfortable coming into one of our workforce centers and our DVR offices, and they'll be treated with dignity and respect. We've also created an accessibility task force at the department. The task force is focused on learning how the organization as a whole can improve accessibility internally and externally, from disseminating best practices on how to hold accessible meetings virtually, like the one here today, and in person, to making sure that people know how to request accommodations. The task force helps hold CDLE accountable to our mission of helping all Coloradans succeed. We know that many people aren't aware of the employment issues people with disabilities face, and that's why we've also made it a point to conduct lunch and learns, many of them open to the public and our key customers. Over the past month alone, we've hosted webinars covering the importance of intentional accessibility, Title I best practices, disability etiquette, and ableism and non-disabled privilege. We're also working on spreading awareness of the many no-cost career services provided by our Division of Voc Rehab throughout the state. Our external work mirrors our internal work. Since the advent of the pandemic, we've been busy distributing both federal and state unemployment benefits, providing wage and hour information to employers, helping them navigate paid sick leave, and essentially conducting work in a new and unprecedented work world. One of the most exciting things on the horizon is the launch of a pilot program that creates a hiring preference for qualified applicants with disabilities in 2022. It works much like the veterans hiring preference that exists throughout our workforce system that we have in place today. We're excited that this program will be housed under CDLE. If successful, it will be adopted by other state agencies. The pilot is not only important in that it recognizes the employment barriers facing people with disabilities, it also recognizes that what we have a workforce that represents all of Colorado, we are better positioned to serve people in ways that reflect their interests, skills, and aspirations. Finally, before I close and turn it over to my colleague, I want to again acknowledge the work of Scott and all of you and NFB over the years as we built this partnership together with the Labor Department. And as Scott mentioned, I know it's had its pain points. Our goal is to continue to work through those with transparency and honesty. Through your feedback, tell us what we can do better, because we are committed to making this work, creating a solid partnership that we felt we built upon 6 years ago, and accomplishing outcomes together and not in a silo. So we're grateful for your partnership, Scott. Thank you all here today, and I will turn it over to my colleague, Krista.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Cher. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here in person. It's been far too long. I think this is my fourth state convention, and I guess third in person, so thank you. I'm going to take this opportunity today to talk a little bit about some of the achievements and challenges of this past year, and also dive into some of the priorities and goals for the future moving forward within our BLVS unit. As Cher mentioned previously, since March of 2020, pandemic-related layoffs have disproportionately impacted people with disabilities. DVR data from state fiscal year 21 echoes that same concern. This was especially true for individuals who are blind or have low vision. When looking at the employment rate 4 quarters post-exit of the DVR program, and real quick, let me just share, that metric is really looking at job retention. Individuals who are blind or visually impaired had significantly lower rates of employment compared to individuals with other disabilities. Employment rate post-exit of DVR services is a metric relatively new to DVR. We began collecting this data in 2018. However, it's a valuable data point that we will be exploring further at our upcoming stakeholder meeting. While the average wage for individuals who receive services through the BLVS unit increased almost 21%, and I'll say that again, the average wage increased almost 21% this past year to $25.92 per hour. Unfortunately, the number of individuals within BLVS who achieved successful employment decreased by almost 25%. This trend was similar for general VR services. Not only was finding and maintaining employment exceptionally challenging in this past year, many individuals chose to put their job search and training on hold due to safety concerns and unknowns related to COVID-19. We suspect this influenced the number of individuals seeking vocational services, as we saw a drop of about 9% in the number of individuals served. Fortunately, we have turned a corner as referrals are on the rise and employers so desperately need employees. Last year, we shared the devastating news that 15 of 23 operators within the Business Enterprise Program were out of work. As buildings closed and employees began working from home, there were minimal customers to serve within state and federal buildings. I am happy to share that through the hard work of members within the National Association of Blind Merchants and the National Federation of the Blind, we were able to disperse about $250,000 of federal relief funds to provide some temporary support. While there are still a significant number of state and federal employees working remotely, some have begun to return to buildings. We have also opened a new location at the Veteran Affairs Office Building, the Sterling Department of Corrections, and Rocky Mountain Research Center. We have a total of 19 operators working to date. Our set-aside funds have begun increasing. As an example, we've collected about 10% more set-aside funds during the first quarter of state fiscal year 2022 compared to the first quarter last year. These funds that support the program are vital to its success. While we are moving in the right direction, we still have a lot of work ahead of us. I'm happy to share that this year we welcome new leadership to the Business Enterprise Program. Jessica Beecham was elected chair and Gladys Crespo, vice chair of the Colorado Elected Committee. Cheers. Troy Larson began his role as the new BEP manager in February. We continue to work closely with the committee to improve our shortcomings in active participation and bounce back from the pandemic and create a model business enterprise program. Prior to the pandemic, remote services within our personal adjustment training program were offered on a limited basis. Now they have become a preferred modality for many people we serve. We continue to provide virtual groups for support and training on a regular basis to all BLVS clients. Last year, we shared that staff within our personal adjustment training unit were seeing an increase in the number of individuals served through the hybrid model. Due to the positive feedback from the people we serve, as well as our staff, we have begun to explore a permanent change to the structure of our personal adjustment training services, and we will continue to work with our stakeholders as we redefine the PAT center service model. During the summer of 2021, the PAT unit's pre-employment transition specialists offered weekly online workshops for pre-employment transition students. These workshops included discussion, activities, and guest speakers from the Colorado community. Topics included career exploration, adaptive recreation, daily living skills, transportation methods, and financial literacy. It was particularly challenging recruiting youth this summer, as many were looking for a break from the virtual learning environment. Youth recruitment is an area of particular focus as we prepare for next summer's activities. This spring, we bid farewell to Karen Klein and welcomed a new manager of the Older Individuals Who Are Blind program, Liz Robertson. The OIB program has continued to provide quality and caring services to individuals statewide who are age 55 and older and are blind or visually impaired, and whose primary goal is to regain and maintain independence in their own home. We just finished the second year of a 3-year contract, and DVR will be seeking applications for the next contract cycle this spring. We have appreciated the continued collaboration among the 7 subrecipients throughout the state and look forward to the experience and particular expertise within the orientation and mobility field that Liz brings to the program. The Howard Fund provides grants to individuals and organizations in Colorado to help them acquire equipment and services directly related to blindness and vision impairment. This past year, the board approved 18 grants that have included the purchase of assistive technology, low vision aids, adaptive equipment, and training. We warmly welcomed new board members John Kilpatrick and David Neatfield. Things look a bit different at DVR now. Staff have quickly adapted to their new hybrid work environment, making it a point to work in the office, the community, and from their homes. Cell phones, an electronic case management system, Zoom, Google Meet, electronic signatures, laptops, and more have made this all possible. As our reliance on technology continues to grow, we recognize the importance of accessibility. David Neatfield will be sharing a more in-depth picture of DVR's efforts to ensure accessibility later this afternoon. Anyone who's interested in attending. Last year, we implemented virtual groups, and due to the interest and effectiveness, they are here to stay. The group sessions are offered 2 to 3 times per week and consist of orientation and mobility, enrichment hour, where individuals hear from subject matter experts, reflections, job-seeking skills training, Braille, daily living skills, women's group, and basic technology. I would like to finish with sharing some of DVR and BLVS's priorities and goals. Last year, we shared that DVR and BLVS were focused on increasing employment opportunities for the people we serve by empowering individuals to find employment in occupations that have growth opportunities and career pathways. DVR set a goal to increase new vocational goals within opportunity occupations from 9.2% to 14.2% by March of 2021. I'm proud to share that DVR met its goal. The BLVS unit, in particular, almost doubled their goal. They developed 42 employment goals in the opportunity occupations, including specific goals such as psychiatrists, veterinary tech, project managers, teachers, medical records, loan officers, therapists, and construction. DVR and BLVS continue to work towards preparing the people we serve for the future of work. And this year, our goal is focused on increasing the percentage of individuals that move into a plan for employment from 43.9% to 54.8% by March of 2021. March of 2022. To date, individuals served through the BLVS unit have moved to a plan for employment at a rate of 42%. With a fully staffed unit, we feel confident we will continue to help individuals move towards employment and achieve our goal by March of 2022. We have ramped up our focus on employment within the Personal Adjustment Training Program and currently offer an Employment Matters course. This is a 10-week course offered multiple times throughout the year. Participants learn about tips for researching employers, how to research your dream job and the qualifications, job application accessibility, building a resume and cover letter, interviewing skills and preparedness and considerations for accommodations with that, disability disclosure, accommodations and the ADA, and being a quote-unquote good employee, social norms in the workplace, and lastly, transferable skills. Preparing individuals for remote work has become an integral part of training. Individuals learn about platforms like Zoom, video conferencing etiquette, and interviewing via video conferencing. Finally, as mentioned previously, we would like to better understand the job retention rate of the individuals we serve and identify strategies to improve job retention. We look forward to meeting with our stakeholders at our upcoming meeting, November 17th, as we dive deeper into identifying and refining our priorities and goals for this upcoming year. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you all today. And I think at this time we welcome any questions or comments. And do you know, Scott, where we're at as far as time?
We have about 5 minutes.
Okay.
You've done well on time. I'll ask for any questions here in a moment. Guess I would say two things to both of you. We appreciate the relationship we have. We appreciate the candor that we can use when it is necessary. I think a lot of things are going well at CDLE, but we know that our BEP program has really met challenges in the last year, which of course have been, last year plus really, of course have been exacerbated by the pandemic. I think and I hope the process that we're now engaging, in effect a mediation process, learning about active participation, and these steps that we are taking will make a real change. But I'm sure you know that if we don't see the real change and we don't maximize what this program can do, we will take action commensurate with what we think is necessary. And I don't know what that means because we're not there yet. But this program, the Randolph-Shepard program, is just far too important to let it be ripped apart and diminished. In 2016, in addition to helping to get DVR transferred to CDLE, we got a really substantial, significant law passed, expanding tremendously the kinds of opportunities that blind vendors in this state could pursue. And here we are 5 years later with only 19 operators. Something's wrong. And I haven't seen any real shift in the types of opportunities that blind operators are able to secure. So this, I think, is a challenge for all of us to figure out, because there are all kinds of opportunities out there that we could be seizing, but we're not. So we got to start working on that as we come out of the pandemic. The other thing, of course, is we got to make sure that when we're looking at all these employment opportunities, are we really thinking 10 years ahead? What are going to be the jobs of the future, and how are we going to get blind people in those jobs? So we need to keep working on that. So I would open the floor to any questions or comments for Cher and Krista. Okay, well, thank you very, very much for being with us today. Hope you enjoyed lunch. And we will be in touch, absolutely. So let's have a warm round of applause for our CDLE representatives. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So next, I want to, well, first of all, before I introduce this next guest, I want to welcome our national representative officially to the convention. I think you know who he is. So without further ado, here is the president of the National Federation of the Blind, Mark Riccobono. Oh, and as Mark comes up here with the scholarship class, Christina, Gabe, Dea, Ellie, all please make your way up here.
Good afternoon, fellow Federationists. How y'all doing? It is so great to be here in Colorado. It's so great to experience the real range of participation from so many different people. Love to see our CCB students already bidding on auction items. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Getting engaged in the organized blind movement. Now let me see if you're a member out there, who has your coin? Who has your coin? At the Jessica says hers is in her purse. See, it's in the room. That counts. Let me hear some coins. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Scott has one. See. That's right. I owe you a drink, Scott. So you can become a member too. If you're in this room and you're not yet a member of the National Federation of the Blind, I would invite you personally to become a member and to join with us because we need you. We need your help to move our organization forward and to achieve all of the hard things that we still have in front of us. If you are new here, you may have noticed we don't take on the easy things in the National Federation of the Blind. We take on the hard things. We take on the things that no other organization will tackle. And that's because we're driven by blind people. So we need you to be part of our organization. So please join our Colorado affiliate, and we'll look forward to onboarding you and sending you one of our membership coins from our national office. The membership coin has 3 Braille letters on it, TGR, and that's because together with love, hope, and determination, we transform dreams into reality. So great to be here. Look forward to the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mr. President. And Peggy Chong, if you'll come up here in a second, that'd be great. Now, I think we need a door prize. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm hankering a door prize. What do you think?
Right, yep, I'm ready.
Mo?
All right, so up we have a lemon sugar scrub and some fudge. And the lucky winner is who? Oh, Julie Hunter.
Julie Hunter! Are you in the room? Yay for Julie!
Wait,
All right. Do you have another one?
we can.
Yeah.
What do you want to give away?
Yeah.
The bowl?
After
All right, we
the
have a set of mixing bowls we're going to give away.
What's it? Okay. Christina Eversole, up to the front, please. Christina.
All right, and the winner for the bowls is Jim Lopez.
Jimmy Lopez, are you here, Jim? Saw you yesterday. Oh, draw again.
Amanda Jewett.
I think Amanda's here.
Raise your hands, jump up and down.
There you go. Thank
Okay,
you, Brittany.
perfect.
All right, now it is my true honor and privilege to introduce to you the first Vice President of the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado, the woman who also serves as chairperson of our scholarship committee. Here is Jessica Beecham.
Whenever I stand at the microphone after Scott, I always really remember how short I am. That's okay. Good things come in short packages. So, thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here today with our National Federation of the Blind of Colorado scholarship class. Were it not for your participation in our Six That Dash and in our auction and in all of the other fundraising efforts of the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado, we would have a much harder time offering assistance to talented, dedicated, tremendous scholarship winners like we have here in Colorado this year. It's my privilege to introduce to you today what I think is one of the best classes that we've ever had. We have a tremendously gifted, talented, diverse class. We were going around this morning talking about fun things, and they're all just so fantastic. And you're going to get to hear more from them, so I'm not going to talk anymore except to introduce them. So first up, we have Mr. Gabriel Gates, and he is working on his PhD program. He's from Colorado Springs, Colorado, studying at the University of Colorado of Denver, and he is in the School of Education and Human Development, studying executive leadership. So let's give it up for Mr. Gabe Gates.
Yay! Gabriel.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Get on that mic a little bit.
All right. There we go. Oh. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Get a little closer.
Can you hear me? There we go. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start telling you a little about me, I really want to take this time to thank God for being my protector and my provider, giving me this opportunity to be here with everybody today. Thank you to the NFB for giving me this opportunity for this scholarship. It's really a blessing. Thank you so much. My name is Gabe Gates. Like Jessica was saying, I'm up studying educational leadership at the University of Colorado, Denver, downtown campus. I really want to use my opportunity, my knowledge, my skills, and my abilities to help build a culture of accessibility and inclusion for students in Colorado. It doesn't matter what educational setting, whether it be K through 12 or post-secondary college. I just want to do whatever I can to help pave the way and pay it forward so that students everywhere can reach their dreams and do what they want to do. Like I said, God has really been there for me to provide me with these opportunities and help me reach the dreams that I've accomplished in my life. And I really appreciate that opportunity to be here with you guys now. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, Gabe.
Thank you, Gabe. Next up, we have Dayanara Villacazares. Daya is from Denver, Colorado, and she is a freshman studying business at the University of Denver. So everybody give it up for Daya.
Yay, Daya!
Hi, my name is Daya. I'm born and raised in Denver. I'm a native Coloradan. I know a lot of people can't say that anymore. I'm going to the University of Denver. I'm getting a major in business and a minor in leadership studies. I have been a part of NFB for literally as long as I can remember. I grew up in the Denver metro area, so like 20 minutes from CCV. And like I went to confidence camp from the age of 6 to like 11, and then I worked confidence camp, which was honestly like my favorite thing ever, like to be able to teach kids that they can cook and they can clean, and like everything I learned, I got to teach. So that was, I think, my favorite part. And then I got to go to Washington Seminar, and like that changed my life. I'm writing a whole essay about that, even to this day. And yeah, like just to be able to grow and like see all the differences that this federation has been making, like is surreal. Now I am vice president of CABS, and I'm part of the North Metro chapter, so that's super cool. And yeah, like honestly, I wouldn't be here with NFB. Like if I wouldn't be here if it weren't for NFB. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much, Daya. What's nice about following Daya is I don't have to adjust the microphone. So thanks, Daya. Next, we have Ellie White. Ellie is from Aurora, Colorado. She is studying psychology at the Community College of Aurora. So welcome, Ellie.
Okay. I just want to say hello and thank you guys, just all of you in the NFB, CCB, and everything. It's my second home, my second family. I wouldn't say I haven't accepted myself until this experience, but it's been hard to come to, the truth of, being a blind individual. And now I can accept it, and I can say that, I'm proud of it, and I can just, tell the world, don't tell me I can't do anything.
All right.
So one of my big kind of roles in things that I do in my life is I run my own nonprofit organization. It's called the Ellie White Foundation for Rare Genetic Disorders. I started this after being diagnosed with a syndrome that I have. It causes me to have type 1 diabetes along with my vision loss, and it's unfortunately terminal with a life expectancy of 30. And as soon as I found out that I was diagnosed with this, I said I'm going to kick it in the rear end and I'm going to win. So I started my own. So that's just, one thing that I do to just, not let things take me down. And I just really feel that, since I've met the, staff and students at CCB, my family at CCB, my family with the NFB, it's just really, really helped me say that, no one tell me I can't, because I can do anything. So thank you guys.
All right, Ellie.
Thank you so much, Ellie. And do we have Christina? If not, thank you so much for the opportunity to present the 2021 National Federation of the Blind of Colorado Scholarship Class. And when you bid on those next auction items, please think about the future of each student who you just heard from. And bid high.
Well, I just want you to know, class of 2021, we're very proud of you. You all have overcome a great deal in your lives. And, we heard the challenges that Ellie has faced, but I also know that Gabe and Dea haven't always had it easy. And this is not one of these corny things, oh, you're so amazing because you're blind. No, this is real world challenges. And they're all resilient, perseverant individuals. They're all going to do great in their chosen careers. So let's give it up again for the class of 2021. You were parsimonious with your comments such that we're actually ahead of schedule. How about that? Yeah. We're gonna do a few things. Auction, get ready. Door prize, get ready. But I want to introduce for a couple of minutes one of our gold sponsors, Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Here's our friend, Shauna Jatho. Shauna? There you are.
Running up. Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Shauna Jatho. I'm a clinical nurse educator with Vanda. And what my role as a clinical nurse educator is to increase the awareness on the very rare condition non-24. Many of you may have heard about it, may have met me in the past. If you are struggling with sleep and it's affecting the quality of your life, please come over to our exhibit booth so we can talk more and you can share more of your experiences with the sleep struggles, and you can also become educated on non-24. The three main symptoms are difficulty falling asleep at night, difficulty getting a full night's sleep, and or difficulty staying awake during the day. So those three main symptoms may come and go. You may have periods of good sleep followed by periods of very difficult sleep. It's a very cyclical pattern with non-24. And if it's affecting the quality of your life, know that there is help and support out there for you. But I would like the opportunity myself. I also have a colleague, Jennifer Lyman, with me too. So please come and visit us. We were not able to be here this morning, so we will be here this afternoon and for the first part of tomorrow morning. So I look forward to meeting many of you and enjoy your convention. Great turnout.
Thank you, Shauna. And I want to thank Vanda. You guys have been great. You've been supporting our convention for, I don't know how many years. It's many, many years. And we very much appreciate it. Our scholarship winners appreciate it. So thank you so much. Jessica, in a bit, after we do the auction, I'd like you to come up, or your designee, to talk about what we're going to be doing tonight, game night, okay? So here again, well, let's do a door prize real quick. What do we got? Door prize, door prize.
All right, everybody, we got a door prize here for you. We're going to give away some pumpkin spice espresso beans and a $20 Uber gift card.
How many? 20 what?
$20.
Dollar. I love your accent.
20
I
bucks.
really love
How
your
about
accent.
that?
All right, so who's that going to, Aaron?
Peggy Chong.
Oh! Peggy, are you in the room? Okay. You get $20. She's here. All right. So here again is our auctioneer extraordinaire, Mary Emilio Reilly.
I swear Scott's going to laugh like the whole weekend long every time he says my name. It's either that or my dog's going to bother him. I'm not sure which. Uno, lay down. Leave Scott alone. Come on. Good boy.
Poor boy.
I'm like I need my hands to read with, and Uno's trying to take advantage. But how many of you enjoy dessert? Dessert, good stuff, right? I have the most amazing auction item, and I know somebody who really wants it bad. I know several people who want it bad. We have auction item number 20 or 19, whichever one you want to call it, because we've got two of these. We'll auction off one now. If we get an amazing price, we might let them both go together, or we will auction another one tomorrow. Neither one of them has nuts. But we are auctioning off Pippi Adams' awesome bread bags. Pippi set this at $75. I'm telling you, y'all, when I went to pick up one of these bags, it was like, this is a two-hander. They are 6 huge loaves, pumpkin, apple, cinnamon, white, you name it. There's 6 different flavors, all donated by the Merchants Division. This is not a $75 bag, y'all. This is probably closer to $100. But we're going to start the bidding on Pippi's bread bag at $30. I'm sorry, we cannot ship this. These are perishables. So Beecham says 90? Is that what I heard?
I said 30, but I mean, if we...
No. I honestly did want to hear what you said.
I said 30, because you said 30.
Labar, 40.
Labar's at 40.
Bears
Boyer,
45.
60.
70, 80. Congratulations. Enough toys.
Boyer 100.
We're at 110 already.
20. I think I had 10.
You were at 10. If you want to outbid yourself, I'll be happy to let you. But I'll honor 110, just for the excitement. 120.
Ooh, she's determined, Janine.
125.
130. 135, she said? Did you say that, or are you just kind of thinking it?
40.
140. She wants to take this bread with her back to Florida. If you are willing to match her price, we will sell them both. Oh, okay, psych. 160 says world one.
40, 50, 60, 80.
All right, you know what? This is really fun, y'all. Worley, are you willing to pay 300? Yeah. Beecham's willing to pay 300? We're selling them both. This is how we do business in the NFB. Do you want me to do one more, or are we good?
We're good.
All right, thank you much.
You,
Fast
Oh,
money.
stay where you are, Marianne.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are we talking about game night?
Yes.
Okay, because I need Marianne to talk about the guide dog.
Oh, yeah. So, to talk about game night, here's Jessica and Marianne again.
All right, so Marianne, I'm going to hand you the mic first if you want to talk about our fun scavenger hunt.
Sure. Okay, she just picked it. She's like, I'm not even dealing with the thing anymore. She just picked it up and handed it to me. Okay. Good things come in short packages. I love it. Dynamite comes in short packages. That's what I was told. And she is nothing but dynamite. So tonight, the guide dog division, Coag where my dogs at? All right, here's a few dogs. Where are dog lovers at? All right, join us tonight as part of the game night. At 7:30, we are going to kick off the scavenger hunt. It is $5 per person. You can, sorry, I'm pulling Uno away from Scott. I don't know, they've got this love relationship going on over here. I'm not really sure why, but Scott's awesome to the Uno puppy. But anyway, you will pay your $5 per person, whether you play by yourself or as part of a team. We do have a prize for a team. We do have several prizes for individuals. And we will have prizes for the puppies that play. We will not charge for the puppies, but we will charge for each person. It'll be a $5 donation to Coag. You'll have an hour in which to find your way to a bunch of different places, solve the clues, find all your different places, come back to us. And you come back to us with all of your clues, you get entered in to win from a group of great prizes that we will try to draw right around 8:30. Help out Coag, find your way around this hotel. And I don't know about anybody else, but it's not easy to find your way around this hotel. So a good challenge for everybody, a little bit of fun. Families, come have fun. Do this with your kids. Teach your blind kids. The clues are in Braille and in print. So you can go the challenges both ways. And as soon as I'm done with some of this, I'm going to go out and actually lay out the trail for the scavenger hunt. So come and join us and have a great time. We plan to have fun with y'all. Here you go, Miss Lady.
All right, so in addition to the scavenger hunt, we are going to be having some fun and games going on right here in the ballroom. So we have a huge, two huge Jenga games. We've got a big old Connect 4 game. We've got some card games. We've got some other games and some horse races that are going to be going on. Did I say horse races that are going to be going on tonight? Yeah, I'm a horse. You can bet on me. You don't need to know the others because I'm going to win. But, I mean, you know, they might be up here. There might be one horse, one pony named Scott Labar.
No, the has-been horse.
Oh, he's a has-been horse. He said the has-been horse, named Scott Labar, and our national rep. He's a little lamed, I think, this weekend. But you know, Tennessee is known for its walkers. But I'm a Tennessee runner, so you can put your $5 bet on me. It's a good bet. So anyways, it is $5. Money proceeds are split between the Sports and Rec division and our affiliate. So it's a great fundraising opportunity. And so we'll be collecting bets here in the ballroom while we're playing lots of fun and games. Oh, we got bocce ball tonight. I forgot to say bocce ball. Bocce ball is going to be so fun. So there's going to be lots to do, cash bar, drinking to do. so you're not going to want to miss it.
Starts at 7.
Starts at 7. Oh, crafts. So, Renee, what do you want me to, so we're going to have crafts, and I don't think it is in the same room.
Nope.
It is in a different room, but Sandy Schleich from Pueblo and Renee Anderson from our Mountains and Plains chapter, let's give it up, have set up an amazing evening because they recognize that not everybody loves playing games. And so they've set up a crafter's corner that's going to be right here. Our own Ann Cunningham is going to also be assisting with that. And I know Rashika Kartik is going to be assisting with that as well. So you need to stop by, see what's going on, and make some cool things happen. Yeah. I don't know where she is. Oh, Marianne, yell out to Eileen so she can give you this auction item. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, let's move to our next item on the agenda, right on time. Next, we're going to hear from Debbie McLeod, who's been a longtime friend of ours. Advancing our right to read and securing our right to access information. Debbie McLeod is the interim Assistant Commissioner, Colorado Department of Education, and the director of the Colorado Talking Book Library. And I will let her give you a little bit of news about what she's up to. But once again, let's warmly welcome Debbie McLeod. Debbie?
I'm right here. Thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for having me. It's great to see you all here and on Zoom. Thank you, Scott, for having me. So I'm going to update you on kind of national level and state level. And in case you don't know what the interim assistant commissioner is doing, it's also the interim state librarian. We are looking for a new state librarian, and so in the meantime, I'm holding down the fort for that position as well. So last year, the biennial NLS conference happened in December, so after I had been here, and the regional biennial conference had happened just last May. COVID seriously delayed the Braille e-reader pilot, and it is still in pilot phase. So this is a great disappointment for a lot of people because we hoped that by now we would have had Braille e-readers available for our Braille readers in Colorado. But it looks like it's going to be another year to 18 months before that equipment, those units, will be here in Colorado. So we're hoping, you know, fingers crossed, that we'll get them. Eventually, we'll get them. Remember how long it took digital players to get here? Yeah, we're sort of in the same kind of cycle. NLS has a new director, Jason Broughton, and he is the former state librarian of Vermont. He started on September 13th. So he's come out with some new goals for this upcoming year, and they include increasing BARD patrons by 25%, and by continuing to make BARD more usable and improve its infrastructure. So I thought that one in particular might be of interest to you. Locally, all of our staff and volunteers have been back in the building since July, and it's great to have everybody back and sort of operating in what the new normal is with vaccinations and masks and that kind of thing. We hope the Books on Demand, well, the Books on Demand model allowed us to move a position from the mail room and create a new reader advisor position. Susan Archer retired at the end of July, so that allowed me to hire Laurie Sporing as our new reader advisor, and she started in August.
All right.
Yeah.
So we hope that this will improve even more our responsiveness to our patron needs. As we have books on demand and less work in the mailroom, we have more work up front with the reader advisory. So that it was great that we were able to shift that position without having to do anything with difficulty, you know. So anyway, we hope the new books on demand model is working for you all, and we want to remind you that if the number of books on your cartridge isn't working for you, you want fewer or more, just call a reader advisor and let them know. And while calling the library is great, we also want to remind you that you can email the library as well. All of the RAs, Teresa Kalber and myself monitor that email address, and so you will get a response. And so if you feel like you've left a message and you're not getting a phone call back, because sometimes we call back and you don't recognize the number, and you won't answer the phone. So email is good. And that is on our website, but it's ctbl.info@cde.state.co.us. You probably recognize that. And just one of the things to say is, even though we've got this great phone number, it does come up on a caller ID or whatever in weird ways, because the actual phone number that you dial doesn't show up on your phone when we call you. It's one of the weirdest things ever, but that's it. And so we understand why you might not recognize the phone number. So as a reminder then about BARD, if you have a smart device and broadband connection, you can sign up for BARD, and it allows you to download books 24/7, so there's no waiting for anything, which is always great. The studio is recording again, and we have 8 narrators still recording from home. They had been recording all through COVID shutdown, and so they continue to record. Another reminder is that we continue to have seats with Bookshare, and so if you are a current BARD participant and interested in Bookshare, you can contact Teresa Kalber. And we just want to remind you that Bookshare uses text-to-speech and not human narration. We currently have 11 open seats out of 150, so it's been very popular. If you sign up and don't use your account for 6 months, we will close your account and give it to somebody else. So that's an encouragement. If you're going to sign up for Bookshare, we want you to use it, okay? We also have online databases, and that you can access from your own computer. All you need is your patron number. And the link to the databases off of our website is on the left-hand side of the page, where it will list all the different links. We've got Academic Search Premier, Business Source, Consumer Health, Legal Information Reference Center, Science Reference Center. So those are just a few. There are more. As a reminder, descriptive video continues to expand. I will say, however, that the number of movies that have been added in descriptive video in the last 6 months are slim, because there weren't a lot of releases during 2020 and early 21. So anyway, you can also follow us on social media. The Friends have a CTBL. The Friends of CTBL have a Facebook page, so you can look them up. And as a final note, I want to let you all know that I will be retiring from CTBL at the end of December. It has been an honor to serve you, and I am grateful for the support that NFB-CO and you have given the library in my 17.5 years. Thank you. We don't have a successor yet, but we're working on it. So watch for the January newsletter. There should be an announcement in that. My goal has been to set the library up for success upon my departure, and that's what I'm working towards. So with that, I wish you all good things in the future, and again, thank you so much for being part of our community.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you. I'm not on mic, so I'm going to have to repeat. I want to thank you for your support of NFB Newsline. It's a huge and dynamic program we couldn't do without you as a partner. Also remind everybody that we constantly write articles about our talking book library that she has wonderfully directed in our Blind Colorado wallet. Also, we put the newsletter from the library up on Newsline every quarter.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, Debbie, don't go away here. You're always welcome at the NFB of Colorado, first of all, but we want to do something to mark this occasion and your accomplishments. So, Mr. Chong, are you in the room? I believe we have a resolution, do we not? Now, Chris Parson, I'm going to introduce Mr. Chong to tell us about this resolution, and then Chris will read it, and then we have something after that. So, Mr. Chong? Yes. Curtis?
Okay.
There you go.
Yep, I'm here. So, Debbie, I'm personally regret the fact that I've never had a chance to meet you too much in person. And so, of course, I let Peggy Chong do all my talking, as everybody in the organization knows. So the resolutions committee this morning voted up a document which Chris is now going to read about you. So without further ado, Chris, take it away. Do you have a mic? I guess you're up there, right?
I do. I got to lower this a little bit. There we go. All right. Resolution 2021-01 regarding commendations and congratulations to Debbie McLeod. Whereas the Colorado Talking Book Library, CTBL, has served a vital role as the public lending library for all blind and print-disabled Coloradans for nearly a century, and whereas this invaluable resource for the blind and print-disabled has been ably and effectively directed for the past 17 years by Debbie McLeod, and whereas Debbie McLeod has announced her retirement from the directorship of CTBL as of December 31st of this year, and whereas it is of the utmost importance to the members of the NFB of Colorado that we recognize and salute Debbie McLeod for her friendship, her professionalism, and for ensuring that blind and print-disabled Coloradans have access to the wide array of information, entertainment, and education resources in formats that are readily accessible to them. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado in convention assembled this 29th day of October 2021 in the city of Lone Tree, Colorado, that we extend our sincere gratitude and commendations to Debbie McLeod for her 17 years of service to the blind and print-disabled of Colorado, and under her directorship, ensuring the highest level of professionalism and service to CTBL patrons. And be it further resolved that we congratulate Debbie McLeod and wish her many, many years rich with happiness and fulfillment during the next chapter of her life.
The Resolutions Committee moves the adoption.
Is there a second? Okay. Any discussion? Can't imagine this would be too controversial. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 2021-01, please now say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It's adopted. Now, Debbie, first of all, here's a print copy of the resolution.
Thank you very much.
And a Braille copy.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful.
And we're not done yet. So when I think of you and when I think of the library, of course, I think about literacy. And when we as blind people think about literacy, we think about Louis Braille and everything he did to give us a system that allows us to be literate. So here for you is a commemorative Louis Braille coin from 2009, and that is the proof version of it. And we just want you to have that as a symbol of our love and appreciation. So thank you, Debbie.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. And you're always welcome here, whatever you're going to be doing in the next chapter. So, all right, moving right along. Can't believe we're actually on time. This is kind of freaky. Do we? How about a door prize?
Did someone say door prize? Oh, well, wait, does everyone want a door prize? Okay. Well, we have here a big old jar of dark chocolate sea salt caramels.
Ooh,
and this is the most difficult part of my day because they look delicious. And we also have a $20 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. So I don't know which one's better.
Who'd you draw?
Becky Provenko?
Who?
Becky Provenko?
Becky, are you here? Or are you online?
Are you in Zoom land?
Zoom, 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 zoom.
All right, we're going to move on.
Nope, not seeing him.
Drawer again.
Bob O'Connor.
Connor, I love it. All right, you're
Hey,
here.
I said it right. No? Is she on Zoom?
Nope, not seeing him. If
No
you're there,
Zoom.
if you're one of the phone numbers, please raise your hand.
Does that mean that it gets to go to me? Is that? Oh, all right. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of this man before, but Mark Riccobono?
Hey! Talk. All right. Thank you. I, being the has-been horse, am the one to bet on this evening. I'm taller than both those individuals, and so I'm going to be able to stride it out. So, bet on me. All right, moving right along. And for this presentation, Paul, we should have Senator Danielson and Caleb Thornton out there in the Zoom world. And
checking.
You need to bring them up. But I'm going to soon turn this over to Curtis Chong because he's been our voting rights coordinator. And this panel is about expanding and solidifying our right to vote. So the voting man himself, Mr. Ballot, Mr. Chong, let's give him a warm Federation welcome. Curtis?
Here it is.
Scott, so I do have Caleb, but I do not see Jesse.
Okay.
Caleb's on? Okay. 3 years ago when Peggy and I moved to Colorado, I made it my mission to put Peggy in the limelight and to keep me out of it. I have not succeeded very well. Because the first thing that I discovered about Colorado was that Colorado was a vote by mail state. And these pieces of paper that I could not read independently without paying somebody else were going to show up at my house, and I was going to have to mark it and send it in, or I was going to have to go to a physical place to vote using equipment manufactured by a company which the Federation in New Mexico had already said was a bad idea. So that was 3 years ago. Let's compare what was then where we are now. What can we do today when it comes to voting? Well, first of all, I can't do anything about making people more interested in voting. But we in the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado passed 2 resolutions on the subject. The first one saying that we needed to have a way to mark our ballots from home using technologies that we were familiar with. I don't know about the rest of you, but every time I go to the polls to use their equipment, it's kind of like learning something new because I haven't touched it in over 2 years. So, and you're given no chance to practice. So anyhow, we got that resolution done, and then we went to the General Assembly, and we had our good friend Senator Danielson work with us, and we got the first bill done, which said that the ballots could be delivered to us electronically, and we could use a website and technology, whatever screen reader we wanted, didn't matter. We could use a computer or a phone. But one thing we failed to do. We forgot that you had to print all that stuff, and then you had to put it in the mail and send it in, and you had to sign it and all. So we passed another resolution after we heard from a lot of you all that said, hey, I don't have a printer, what are we supposed to do? And we passed that resolution last year, and we went to the General Assembly, and again, with the good auspices of our friend Senator Jesse Danielson, we got a bill passed, and this time, however, there was a bunch of reaction from the community. The League of Women Voters came up and said that our bill was wrong. They said that you really shouldn't open up electronic ballot return to everybody because the opportunities for fraud were immense. They said that our bill should be amended, perhaps, to limit it to people who were blind and print disabled. And after some discussion, we agreed that that would be the case, and so we amended the bill so that electronic ballot return would only be done by people who met the definition of people who can get services from the Colorado Talking Book Library. I suppose you might put it in that kind of a category. Based on language from the Marrakesh Treaty, which our current president, Scott LaBarre, helped to put together. And we have an election that is ending in 4 days, called the coordinated election in Colorado. And ladies and gentlemen, in this election, we are able to do this vote electronically without a printer. Now, I didn't say that this would be easy, because how do you sign a document when you don't have a piece of paper to put your signature on? Well, some people thought maybe we could sign on the screens of our iPhones with our finger. Except if you have ever used VoiceOver on an iPhone or TalkBack on an Android, you know how well that doesn't work. So we, with the good help from our friends at the Secretary of State's office, they said, well, we could accept, if the law were changed, a picture of one of the large number of forms of identification that are authorized for elections. And we got that through. And so with this current election, if you are a registered voter, you can bring up your ballot, mark it on the computer. The first thing you want to do is take a picture of your state ID or whatever other document you use for identification, and the system will enable you to upload that picture, your ballot, and the ballot application, which is filled in by the software. And you have 3 documents that go in, you push a button that says submit, and you are done. Is it perfect? As many of us in the Federation who have worked on accessibility for a long time can tell you, there is a huge difference between accessibility and usability. You can look at a button and know that it's a button that says submit, but if the button is someplace buried way down in the bottom of the page or up at the top where you don't necessarily go looking, you may not find it. And so we are working with people at the Secretary of State's office, and as some of you have ever seen me do this, I wrote a fairly long document telling them all the things that were wrong with the current system, in a nice way. So anyway, I'm going to get into the curing business in just a minute. I see we have people here from Global Mobile. Some of you may have run into them in the exhibit hall. This is on another issue that we talked about last year. How do you fix your ballot if the county comes back and says it's not right on a smartphone? And last year, the only way we could do it was to sign on screen, which of course VoiceOver users and TalkBack users could not do. sir? Oh, she is? Well, all right. So we're going to work with all of these people, and the first person I want you all to hear from, it gives me, she's in the room, I'm told, Senator, she keeps telling me to call her Jessie. I feel awful doing it, though. So I want Senator Jessie Danielson, please, to come up and say a few things about anything. In the Zoom room? Oh, you are in the Zoom room. Okay, so open it up for Senator Danielson. She's in the room.
She's co-hosted. She should be able to unmute.
Okay. There she goes. We hear you.
Hi, Curtis, can you hear me? Can everybody
Yes.
hear me? in the
Yes,
room?
we can.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Jessie Danielson, and yes, I keep asking Curtis and Kevin and Julie and Scott and everybody to just call me Jessie. I should tell you, I got a little Facebook pop-up today that said where I was in the last 3 years, and it was at the NFB conference. It's just been such an honor and a privilege to work with you all. What an amazing team. So yes, like Curtis said, my name's Jessie Danielson. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a state senator. I serve in Jefferson County, and I've been in the legislature for about 7 years now. And I do work on a lot of issues around, promoting equality in the disability community. Definitely partnered with NFB Colorado on a number of issues, including voting rights, but also, as some of you might remember, that we worked together on our bill, parental rights for parents with disabilities. So, oh, I can hear the room. It's so great to hear you. I wish I could be there today for a couple of reasons. One, it's been so long since I've been able to see you in person because of COVID. And two, to welcome in the new leadership, but also to thank our friend Scott for his amazing tenure at the helm of NFB Colorado, and give him a hug in person. So I'm sorry I'm not there, but I am 8 months pregnant, and I've got a 4-year-old at home. So I'm just being real careful about COVID. Sounds like there is a little feedback.
We're not getting any feedback on our end. You're coming through quite nicely.
Can you hear me okay, or is it just on my end?
Yes.
Okay.
Step down the gain a little bit.
What's that?
I'm telling the Zoom people to step the gain down just a tad.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, Curtis, should I continue?
I think if you have other things to say, Senator, yes, please do.
I might need to rejoin because I can't. I think it just got better.
Okay.
I think what I just wanted to add to what Curtis was saying, and Curtis, you'll have to tell me, is it real bad in there now, the sound, or is it okay?
It's only on your end that the sound is bad because I think you're hearing yourself reflected back on your system. We hear you as if you were in the room.
Should I try and call back in real fast?
I don't think, Paul, can you step down her volume a little? She's trying to do it, but it's Zoom behaving as Zoom usually does. Keep talking, Senator. He wants to see how.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was better. Go ahead.
Is this better if I scoot back?
Yes.
How about here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess Curtis did a great job of talking about the bill that we ran this year, that, the end result, as you heard, was that people can vote without a private ballot for the first time, without the barrier of a printer. And so, we had a lot of success. We worked with the Secretary of State's office, and some other strong partner advocates in the community. But really, it was NFB Colorado and CCDC and some other advocates who just led the charge. I will say it was your expertise on how the systems, could and should function that made it possible for us to move the legislation the way that we did. And so again, I'm so grateful. And I've tried to tell anyone who will listen to me, if, in any other state, if you want to run legislation, you need to get in touch with the National Federation of the Blind Colorado leaders, because they certainly know their business. And I would also just say that it was really important to me to run this last piece of kind of a broader puzzle of voting rights legislation to complete it. We made it a lot better in the years previous, but this was still an unnecessary, barrier for Coloradans to vote, which made no sense. And so once NFB Colorado figured out how to go about removing the barrier, then we just, we move forward together with the legislation. And so for me, it was important to kind of complete that process so that really and truly we were doing what we needed to do to make sure everybody can vote. Kind of a no-brainer, but it was an important last piece. And, it was really, really easy for me to pick up and run with, since, it seemed very straightforward. Once the Secretary of State's office kind of could see how the technology was there and could work and agreed, that was really important, and they were a great partner. Curtis is not wrong. There was some interesting opposition, which was really disappointing to me. I won't, I said it publicly before, and I'll say it again. I feel that some of that was just based in a belief that all electronic voting is somehow dangerous or insecure, which you all and I know is not true or accurate. So, we worked our way through it, as Curtis said. You got to do what you got to do to make things work. And now we have our bill, and the law of the land in Colorado is the most accessible and secure voting system in the country. And I am really, really proud of that. And I look forward to more election cycles where more and more people participate in voting as the years go on.
Thank you, Jesse. We did not get a nothing hamburger out of this. I think we should hear from our friends at the Secretary of State's office. There's a fellow there that we work with all the time. His name is Caleb Thornton. And I sometimes feel like I'm a pest. Peggy keeps telling me, don't bug him so much. And I say, well, I'm doing it nicely, And he expects me to tell him stuff that doesn't work so that they can think about how they're going to fix it. And so, and I have to say that over the years, and it's been quite a couple of years now, Caleb and I have worked extremely well. Caleb is a friend of the Federation, the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado, and he has helped us to get this voting rights thing done so that we can have a fully accessible voting process. And over time, I expect that we will continue to work with, which doesn't mean not bother, Caleb and his colleagues and his team as we move forward to make the process even better. So let's hear it now from a good friend at the Secretary of State's office, Caleb Thornton.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey, great. Hey, just really quickly, Curtis, I think that the audio distortion is just for those of us here on Zoom, because I also am hearing a lot of feedback when you speak through that mic. So just a heads up on that. And there's a couple comments indicating the same for other Zoom users. But I think I understood what you said, and I just I'm so happy to be able to be here.
Wrong way.
Can you hear me? Is that okay? Is that too loud?
That's not your fault. We're trying to make adjustments over here. Okay.
Okay.
Smack. Okay, I think we're
Yeah, sorry about that. I too wish I could have been there today. Unfortunately, my youngest came down with some kind of cold, and so given the current circumstance, I decided it was best to probably stay away and stay home and present over Zoom instead. But hey, I'm so grateful that I could be here, and I'm really so grateful for the partnership that our office has had with NFB, and particularly with you, Curtis. You know, when we started to implement the first bill, I think it was like 2 years ago. I have to admit that there's a lot about accessibility that I did not know. And there's still a lot about accessibility that I don't know. And we're working on that. And I think what we have found is over the couple of election cycles that we've had to create the older system and now create this new system and improve on it, you know, we've found issues that we've been able to fix. We found problems that we didn't expect that we were able to resolve. And we're going to keep working on that, keep trying to improve the system. My hope is that not only does the system become easier and easier for folks to use, but that more and more people use it. So for example, this election, to be frank with you, it's been a very low turnout election, generally speaking. I don't even think we've crossed 20% yet. So that's unusually low, even for a coordinated election. There were 3 elections last year, so my theory is that people are just a little bit burnt out. But you know, I think what we'd love to see is A, more people vote in this election, but B, more people vote using the tools that we now have available. And you know, these tools were always available for folks who were in the military or who were living overseas. Basically, what we have now is the same system that those folks use is now available to somebody with, as Curtis was describing, someone with a print disability. And so we'd love to have people get in there, use it, tell us where there are problems, because we didn't expect it to be perfect. And you know, we do appreciate getting that feedback. I can tell you that I have taken the feedback that Curtis has given me, and I've been able to use it as like actionable information. I can go back to our vendors, I can go back to our staff and say, hey, you know, this isn't working quite right, or this is becoming an issue. I think the truth is what we did find over the last 2 years was that having that printer ended up being kind of the issue, or the biggest issue that we were hearing about. And so my hope is that now that that is no longer required, that folks can do everything electronically. You don't need to print anything at all. My hope is that it's going to gain wider and wider use, that folks will know about it, will be happy to use it, and that they won't experience any particular problems. So I'm just so grateful to have y'all's partnership as we continue to develop that. I'm grateful again to you, Curtis, for everything that you've offered to our office. I'm grateful for all the work that we were able to do with Senator Danielson and other partners as we went through the last session. It was a little bit of a slog at times, and we got through it and got to, I think, a really great place with this system. So I am really grateful for all that work. I know that the secretary is as well, and I know she was happy to see that this could get to the place that we're at today. So again, thank you all. Thanks for having me here today. I am happy to answer any practical questions that you may have on the system, but otherwise I just appreciate being here.
I think we'll try to, it's Caleb's gain that has a problem there, Paul. But I think, Caleb, what we want to do is filter those questions, because I'm afraid anything we do now is going to result in, appreciate the offer, but we'll get it, that'll take up another 30 minutes, and we don't want to waste your time too much.
Curtis, it actually seems to be resolved.
Oh, good.
Everything seems to be coming through on Zoom fine.
Right, okay, all right, thank you. So thanks a lot, Caleb, sure appreciate it. Now, Lee Durham, are you in the room anywhere? You have a chance, okay. So another problem I told you folks about that we passed a resolution on was the inaccessibility of the new text-to-cure system that Colorado went into a year ago for the 2020 election. And as you all know, we did not pass that resolution at the convention because we were interested in bigger gains, and we got those gains. We got to meet with Jenna, the Secretary of State, and Jenna, as you all may know, spoke at our national convention and did a really good job talking about voting rights and how great Colorado is. And I do remember that when I talked to Jenna, she, anyhow, Global Mobile got the message, even though we didn't pass the resolution, that their system on mobile phones to cure your ballot, you know what curing the ballot means? It means that your county sends you an email or a letter saying, oh yeah, your ballot got rejected because you didn't do something right. Can you verify that you want to do? So Lee and the National Federation of the Blind of Colorado and Global Mobile have been working together to come up with an alternative solution to fix this problem so that the blind and others with disabilities who want to cure their ballots on their smartphones can in an accessible way. And for a brief remarks from Lee Durham, the CEO of Global Mobile, please give, he's here in the room personally, he really is standing right there looking at me like, what? So give a warm welcome, please, for Lee Durham, CEO of Global Mobile.
Thank you, Curtis. So our company, and I know I mentioned this during the Hour of Power, we work with states and counties all around the country. And knowing that Caleb is probably still on, but I promise this is with all sincerity, Colorado has been one of the best, probably the best, well, it is the best state that we've worked with so far. And the reason for that, I think, is just their interest in accessibility and really trying to solve the problem. And when we work with the folks at the state, we go into it eyes wide open. We say, look, what can we do here to really solve these problems? And then the gentleman to my right here, Curtis, who has been fantastic to work with. And I think one of the approaches that we took with this is we said, look, we've got this platform, we're doing these things. We're going to stop right here, and you tell us what you all need to make the platform usable for you. So instead of coming in with something as just a cookie cutter approach and saying take it or leave it, we said, all right, give us your input. So I think, Curtis, we worked together almost a year in putting together what we did with Text to Cure. And as Curtis mentioned, that is the opportunity for you all to cure your ballots the exact same way as everybody else. And it's in play right now with the coordinated election. It's up and running. And so we really look at that, and we look to expand with other opportunities and other things that we can potentially do. And we're also working with Luann Blake, the National Federation of the Blind National Office. Great person. I mean, the whole team there is fantastic. So, you do pretty much everything with your smartphones today. I mean, whether you're low vision and blind or whether you're, somebody that's just out there doing things every day, we become so dependent on smartphones. So, but it's a real opportunity, I think, with speech recognition and other tools that are on there to really take advantage in how we can have more accessibility and things that are going to be better for everybody. So, yeah, so if you want to look at how this works, you're able to actually use CO Demo to 28683, which is the short code that we use. It's just 2-vote, actually. So more than happy to make that available to everybody and walk anybody through a demo. But I think just to touch on a little bit, Curtis, our plan is to have as many people participate as possible as members of the Colorado National Federation of the Blind by putting your signature and your ID on your phone. So when it does become time for you to do something with curing or anything else, you're able to access that in a real controlled environment, so it's easier for you to use. So we're going to work with Curtis on promoting and letting everybody know how that works over the next several months. And again, any questions that anybody has on that, we're more than welcome to answer those. And there's also another platform that the state is doing called Text to Sign. There's full intention with that to make that accessible too. So we're going to be working on that with Curtis and then Caleb and the whole team with the Secretary of State. So with that said, can't thank you guys enough for having us, and this has been great. And again, any questions or anything you need, please reach out to me or Curtis, and more than happy to answer those. So Curtis, thank you so much, and thank you, everybody.
I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry, Paul. I'm wrecking the audio. So the final thing I want to say is the folks at Global Mobile have done one thing which I'm urging us to find ways to happen in other places where we vote. We need a place to practice voting. We need not to have to walk into a polling place and go, how do you use this thing? We need to do it, go in there and play with it, have mock elections and stuff so that we can feel as comfortable with that technology as we do with the stuff we use at home. And I know some of you don't really feel all that comfortable with the technology you have at home, I get it. But to the extent possible, that's what we need to do. And I think Lee's company has demonstrated by having the CO demo thing available, and I'll put details out about that one of these days on Colorado Talk. So anyway, things are looking good in Colorado. We can be proud of what we have with regard to elections and voting. And with that, Mr. President, I turn the platform back to you.
Thank you, Curtis, not only for the presentation, but all the work you do. And I'm glad you moved here a few years back. We're going to turn to our last panel in just a moment, but first I want to say a few things about the afternoon. After we end here, we have some breakout sessions. 3:15, we have a breakout session on gun rights in Littleton A. Some people have commented on this panel, and the fact is, you know, it's legal to own firearms in the United States, and if we who are blind want the same rights and responsibilities as others, we have that same right. So to learn about how you can safely and responsibly own firearms as a blind person, we have this panel this afternoon, this breakout. Then we have a panel, or rather a breakout on diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is in Littleton B. And Monique Melton will be leading that effort. Obviously, making this the most welcoming, most inclusive place, most diverse place that we can is a priority for this affiliate. So to learn more about those efforts, please go to Littleton B at 3:15. Then finally, we have a technology seminar being led by David Neatfeld, where he'll discuss what's going on at the state. But in addition to that, our technology experts like Curtis and Paul and others are going to be there to answer questions about assistive technology, access technology generally. That's in Lone Tree, the Lone Tree room at 3:15. And all throughout the rest of the afternoon, the exhibit hall will be open. So please go visit our exhibitors and sponsors. So now turning to this, well, first, let's have a door prize. What do you say?
All right, so we have some Girl Scout Thin Mint Dark Chocolate Almonds, a big box of those, and a chance to win some AeroPods. You get into a drawing. And the name is going to be Alfonso Cemento.
Alfonso, are you out there?
He's in the Denver chapter.
Right, yep. Is he in the Zoom room, though?
Not see him.
Oh, Alfonso. Raise your hand if you're out there on the phone line, *9. Well, move on.
All right, well, I think we might know this person, Chris Parsons.
Hey! Hit *9, Chris. All right. Coloradans with Disabilities Act, exercising our right to live in the world. And for this panel, we're going to once again visit with Senator Danielson because she carried this bill in the Senate. But I guess I'll give an introduction to it. Earlier this year, the Colorado Cross Disability Coalition came to us and said, well, We want to make sure that the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, CADA as everybody calls it, really follows precisely the pattern of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And we want to expand upon that and make sure that those who face discrimination on the basis of disability ought to be able to bring lawsuits in Colorado courts to enforce their rights. And they wanted to tackle the issue of discrimination by public entities. Now, public entities are our state government, of course, county governments, city governments, special districts like RTD, and so on. And under the Americans with Disabilities Act, Title II is the part of the ADA that applies to state entities or public entities. And we said, sure, we'd support this, but we want one additional thing, though. We want it to be very specific in Colorado law that websites of public entities must be accessible. And that if they aren't, you can enforce your rights in court. And CCDC said, well, sure, let's put it in the proposed bill, and that's what we did. And at first, we ran into opposition from all the public entities because they thought, you know, it's going to be really expensive, we don't know how to do it. And the compromise we reached there is to allow a phase-in period of 3 years so they can get it done. And in addition to all of that, we wanted to make sure that the state would be able to give them technical assistance through the Governor's Office of Information and Technology. Well, in order to make that happen, we had to get some funding for the bill. And we thought that was going to be no problem. It was only $332,000, which I say only, that's a lot of money to you and me, except for Worley. That's what he spends in a day, usually private. But, you know, for you and me, that's a lot of money. But for the state, you know, and in a $10, $11 billion budget and so on, that's nothing. So, and so right around the end of May, right before the legislature was to end, I got a call from a certain senator who was telling me something. Is that certain senator still with us? Jesse? Well, she left. Okay, well, so
But
she
she
called
came
me,
back, so okay.
and she said, they're saying we don't have funding for your bill. You're just going to have to wait. Well, exactly. And she said, I know it's my leadership, my party that's saying this, but I don't care. I want you guys to go out there and make a bunch of noise and convince the leadership that they better put the money back in this bill. And guess what we did? We made that noise. And within a few days, they had restored the funding, amazingly, to the bill. That's the power of the Federation, right? So, we got the bill passed, and David Ortiz, Representative Ortiz, was the prime mover on this bill. He is somebody who's in a wheelchair, was wounded in Afghanistan. He is the representative to House District 38, which is where our center is. And he is a great guy, and unfortunately he couldn't be with us this afternoon. But anyway, it led to the passage of the bill, and we actually got a signing ceremony with Governor Polis at the end of June at Craig Hospital. And Kevin, if you're ready, let's roll that audio.
You know, Colorado has, for a long time, been a leader in the disability rights movement. In fact, leading disability rights organization ADAPT was born when members of the Atlantis community demonstrated at Broadway and Colfax in 1978 to demand wheelchair accessibility on public buses, something we take for granted now, but took action to occur. The American with Disabilities Act, 26 years ago, 12 years after ADAPT formed in Denver, was a huge step forward. But the fight for rights for people, regardless of their abilities, continues. And in a Colorado for all, everybody should have the opportunity for dignity. HB 21-1110 will expand protections under Title II of the ADA to state statutes, allowing individual disabilities to pursue disability discrimination courses in state court, which is often a lot more accessible than federal court. It'll help ensure that state and local governments' websites meet the accessibility requirements. And you know, our administration is really focused on a Colorado for all. Thanks to Representative Ortiz and Senator Danielson for helping to further that to ensure that even more Coloradans can fully participate in the Colorado that we love. With that, I would like to introduce the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Colorado, Diane Primavera.
Thought I had a little special pen for you that we're going to use to sign it here. Ready? Yeah. There you go, Scott. Wow, thank you. Cheese. It's official. It's the law of Colorado. Congratulations.
Well, Governor Polis, we want to thank you on behalf of all the citizens with disabilities here in Colorado. Thank you. It is almost Independence Day in our country, but today is another more important Independence Day because we are guaranteeing the rights of people with disabilities here in Colorado. And you have done something that is the first ever that we've done this in the United States, where we have mandated at a state level that all websites should be accessible to all people, including those with disabilities. 313 million Americans access the internet at least once a day. However, to the blind and visually impaired, over 98% of the websites have accessibility barriers, including those, unfortunately, of the state, counties, and municipalities. We want to thank Representative Ortiz, Senator Danielson, the CCDC, and Julie Riskin, all the other supporters, including the public entities who, of course, were very scared of this bill at first, but once we explained to them how easy accessibility could be, they jumped on board. So I thank all the counties, the cities, the state government, and special districts. Again, today is a critical day of independence for the blind and others with disabilities in our state. Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. Onward, let's make this a better Colorado for all. So that was the signing ceremony we had at the end of June, and it is true. We have done something in Colorado that hasn't been done in this way anywhere else in the country, and we can be proud of that fact. It's because of all of you that we made this happen. All right, we are actually substantially ahead of schedule now, which is awesome. And so I think we probably ought to do some more auction, right? Marianne probably doesn't want to do that.
Hey,
Oh.
Scott, I did jump back on.
Oh, there you are. Senator, I was just talking about HB 1110 and how one day late in May you called me and told me about barriers that we had. And anyway, we again opened the floor to you to make any comments about this bill and your support of it and this cause. So, Senator?
Hey, thanks, Scott. Thanks, everybody. I loved listening to what Scott said because it's very true. We weren't getting sufficient word from leadership that our measure was going to go through. And when I said it's fine if I make noise inside the building and I say that it's important for a community, that's fine. I'm a politician, that only goes so far. When you say that you demand this change and that you all are going to make noise and make these demands of our state government, they listen. They listen to you. And you're right, you shook things loose and banded together with a number of the other leaders in the state. Like you mentioned, CCDC, this was a priority for the Colorado Cross Disability Coalition. It doesn't look real good when politicians stand in the way of the disability community in Colorado and leaders like the NFB. I'm just going to say it. So I thank you for when you were called upon, you answered the call and you came through and you made a big difference.
Okay.
I would also say that this again was such an accomplishment, and it flew relatively under the radar for a while. But when you think about it, I think that had we not been through COVID, it might not have had the same outcome. Maybe yes, maybe no, but I think because all of the, I guess, relief that Coloradans needed to seek for the most part was found online, especially when we were in a lockdown. And, identifying these problems became a little bit, or I guess identifying with or understanding problems with accessibility to websites in particular became a little bit easier for the rest of the state, because they just understood we've been through a global pandemic where you're forced to go online to seek services and you can't get online or you can't navigate a website simply because you can't read it. Well, that's not right. We've known that's not right for a real long time. And whatever, forces came together, it worked this year and we got it done. So that, there again, another barrier, another form of discrimination we were able to take down. And I would say that, in the end, it's just another piece of a very big puzzle. I think even the bill signing that Scott mentioned, I'm going to bring this up, Scott. I hope you don't mind. It shows you how little or how far we still have to go to where these kinds of issues are just ingrained in lawmakers' minds and the leaders across the state. We had requested a ceremony to mark the occasion of this very significant bill. And I think what happened was we got the notice like a day in advance.
Yeah.
But even something positive like a bill signing ceremony, it didn't cross, it didn't resonate with the planners that, I don't know, maybe some people need more than a few hours time to plan for transportation. So that you could go to a ceremony that marked a significant accomplishment for the disability community in Colorado. And so it was an ironic ceremony I couldn't be there for one, but when we requested it be pushed out a few days, it was like they didn't, get it that, oh, right, people who would like to be there need transportation services and you have to arrange for that in advance. We've got a long way to go, and there are some of us who will gladly make our renewed commitment to each and every day that we step into the Capitol to continue to fight so that this kind of thing is so far in the past, we'll have to talk about the old days, right? But until we get there, we've got a lot of work to do. And I know David Ortiz and I are we're going to continue to partner together whenever and wherever you need us to go. Even on small things like they're renovating the Capitol right now. And I was asked by a reporter, do you think that these changes inside the building for accessibility would have happened if Representative Ortiz were not elected? And I could say with confidence, no, they would not have happened. That building was built the turn of the last century. And right now we're just getting around to making the speaker's dais accessible for someone who might not be able to walk upstairs. It absolutely wouldn't have happened without him being in there. So that there's two things that I bring this up for. One, our commitment to you and the broader community is going to just be stronger than ever. And two, representation matters. So when we're talking about voting rights and making your voices heard, or perhaps, hopefully, some of you in this room, virtual or real, running for office, it matters. It makes a big difference. And it's how we get things done in the course of real change for equality.
Thank you, Jesse. And I just got it. I mean, I've been doing political work, legislative work, lobbying, whatever you want to call it, for over 30 years. And, 99% of the time, you meet with legislators, and they sort of get it, and they often do the right thing because they know that they should, but you still kind of understand that they don't really quite get it. But that is not the case with Jessie Danielson. She gets it. So let's give a big round of applause, a warm Federation cheer for Jessie Danielson. I hope you heard that, Jessie.
Oh, yes, I heard it, and you're making me laugh and cry at the same darn time.
Well,
no,
we love you. You're the best, and we wish you the best with your imminent arrival, and hope all goes well. And we hope that a year from now, when we're actually going to be in Greeley, that you're with us with you'll have almost a 1-year-old then. So we look forward to being with you again next year.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Scott. You can't know how much this means to me, and also how much your kind words mean to me and your invitation. Isabel, my 4-year-old, knows this group of people, and Scott and this work. And I know my next one, who's due here in December, will be exactly the same, and they know how lucky they are. Hey, you all have a great rest of your meeting, and we'll definitely be in touch. I put my email into the chat. You can call me or email me anytime, and I'm just really, in addition to being so honored by my participation with you all in this work, it really truly has been a highlight of my career. You're also the most fun. and I just enjoy it all. So thank you very much. And you all take care, okay?
Thank you. All right. Well, let's have an auction. I thought we were going to have more time for it, Marianne, but we can do 1 or 2 items, depending how fast they go. All right. So here we are. Marianne!
And he didn't even say the last name, and he's still smiling. I love it. Thanks so much, Jessie Danielson. Absolutely amazing, as always, and such. JJ Aragon, if you are in the room, make your way up here. So I might use you appropriately, and if you don't make it here, I will carry on. We have 2 quick things we're going to do, both of which are mystery auction price. One of them is a Pueblo shopping spree. I believe that's number 17, if I'm correct. Somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, I'll betcha. But it is a $100 Visa gift card, no strings attached. It's in my pocket. I could take it home. We will start the bidding at 10 for $100, free and clear. Who said 20? Kat Hanks said 20. Hold on. Wait, I've heard a couple of 50s. Libby, it's sold. That's the point of a mystery auction. You don't know what the price is going to be. Libby Molnar. Absolutely. And it is in my pocket, so we will make sure it gets gotten. The next one, JJ, are you around? All right, we're auctioning without her, but we're auctioning her stuff. Who here likes the Broncos? I mean, I know it's kind of sad this year, but like the Broncos anyway. I mean, it's kind of like me and my Mets. We have on number 18, which is called Lighted Up Broncos Style. It is a small Broncos Scentsy warmer with the helmet and logo and so on and so forth, and wax bars of your choice to go with it. It is a $45 item. This is another mystery auction, so you have no idea until you hear the right word. And we are going to start it out at 15.
20 Baldwin.
15.
20 is, I heard 20 from Baldwin. Okay, I heard 235. Somebody can go back.
40 from Boyer.
40 Trila and Boyer.
50.
Hold on. All right, we're going with that. Who was that 50? 50 was Boyer. Sold it. Sold it to Brett Boyer. We know how to find you. Brett,
Always and forever.
that item will be emailed to you. And by the way, as a personal thank you, sir, I'm sad that you're sick, but I'm really glad that I got to play drums in your stead. So thank you.
Yeah, I know.
I was glad for that. But do we have
Missed you,
time?
guys.
Do we have time for one more fast one? It's a regular. All right, fast regular. Who here likes Mr. Sandoval?
It's Alfonso. I heard I won a prize earlier. I have.
Sir, Alfonso, no. I love you, but no. We have package number 3, Tech It Up, 2 hours of blind tech training from the training guru, Mr. Paul Sandoval. It is $160 value. I don't know about y'all, but if you were in that exhibit hall, there is so much tech out there. I don't know what to do with it, but Paul does. So let's get this going. Let's start it at 70.
100.
100 says Labar. Really? 120 Whithouse.
130.
130 Labar. He still wants to know how to use that phone he's got. He's killing it.
How do I turn it on?
This is why I love the auction. 130 going once.
150 Julie.
150 Deaton.
Coming in from the Zoom world. I don't think Julie wants it. 155.
155.
160.
No, round numbers, Julie. We like round numbers.
Oh, I said 160. Do you want higher than
He
that?
gave 155.
Okay, and I said 160.
There you go. Thank you.
That's what I said.
Judy Dixon says 170.
Oh! And she's one of my own chapter members. I'm not arguing with her either. 170 going once. Twice. Sold it.
All right.
Woohoo!
I look
Thank you,
forward to
Judy.
working with you, Judy.
We know how to get in touch with you. I will be giving your contact to Gary Van Dorn. Nope, no more, but thank you very much, guys.
Door prize?
We'll have plenty more auction items later on. The afternoon session is adjourned, and please get to the breakouts, to the exhibit hall, and later on, game night.
It's Alfonso. I heard I won a door prize, but I had difficulty.
Alfonso, we'll be in touch with you, okay? All right, please go to the breakouts, to the exhibit hall, and later on at game night, bet on the Has-Been horse. And if you need to pay for your auction items, please come up here to the podium. Although you got a couple people on Zoom there you're going to have to track down. Yeah, all right.